traditional last hurrah of the British and Irish bike racing seasons. It's the traditional clash of the British and Irish-based racers. It's got one of the most prestigious lists of past winners anywhere in Britain and Ireland. And it's on one of the fastest circuits anywhere in Britain and Ireland. It's the Sunflower Trophy 2016. The Sunflower Trophy has been run annually for nearly 40 years, and Bishopscourt Racing Circuit has been its home since 2002. It's just a few miles outside Downpatrick town, reputedly the burial place of Ireland's patron saint. It's a stunning area of Northern Ireland, between Strangford Lough, the largest sea inlet in the British Isles, and the famous Mourne Mountains, 20 miles to the west. Hello, welcome to the Sunflower Trophy from the Bishopscourt Racing Circuit in Northern Ireland. Danny Buchan, just the latest name to stamp his authority on this great event. He's won the last two. He's out this year, obviously, to make it a hat-trick. Another great name here is Jeremy McWilliams, who joins us this weekend. Jeremy, you have won at the Sunflower Trophy, but you haven't won the Sunflower Trophy. But you did win Super Twins, wasn't it, with Ryan a couple of years ago?
We won a couple of Super Twins races and I've podiumed on the 600. I thought that was a good enough time to buy out.
Still time for you to come back and try and win the big Sunflower Trophy. That's the climax of the event. That's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen, right? Yeah, but yeah, you know, looking at the competition level you got here now and the names that it attracts, you know, it's an incredible event and one that I prefer to watch from this side.
It's a great mix. You get the guys that have been racing Irish circuits and the roads here in Ireland, end of season, kind of last hurrah. They get to mix it, I suppose, with the guys that come over from British Superbike, and a great turnout this year again.
Yeah, sure. You know, look at the local names. You know, Jason Lynn and those guys. You know, really showing how competitive our 600 guys are at the front there in Supersport. And as you say, you know, they get to mix it with the big names. It's great to go out and try and prove yourself against these big names. If you can take a scalp here, then you know it goes far. It helps for next year when you're looking for that contract.
And very well supported by a lot of the British Superbike teams, Jeremy.
It is indeed, yeah. It's super to see the Tyco BMW squad over and you know, Glenn Irwin with Paul Bird's team. Very good, you know, Danny Buchan, and they love it. You know, talking to Danny a moment ago, he actually loves riding around here. We could host a round of the BSB Championship here on this circuit.
Well, speaking of the circuit, let's take a closer look at it. Here is the course map. The national circuit at Bishopscourt is 1.82 miles long and raced clockwise. It's fast. Danny Buchan set the lap record last year at 1 minute 6.03 seconds and conditions weren't great. The home straight is long and consequently turn 1 at Brox is a very fast left-hander, the quickest of any circuit in Ireland. Then they make an adjustment at Island de Gore and Larchwood before the hairpin at the far end of the circuit. The back straight is more technical. Deegan's and then fairways 1 and 2 provide opportunities to pick up a few seconds. They go in and out of Ringawadi at pace, and then it's the final long sweeping right-hander into the home straight with the finish line just seconds later. So it's a very busy lap here at Bishopscourt and a very busy event here, the Sunflower Trophy. As we were saying, they're trying to get 14 races away today. We'll be concentrating on the Super Sport, the Superbike, Super Twins, and of course the pinnacle of the whole event, the Sunflower Trophy this afternoon. Super Sport is next, Jeremy. Really interesting qualifying, very, very tight and a great field.
Yeah, obviously, you know, the man that watched are Irwin on the Gearlink bike. He'll be here to... Andrew will be here to prove a point. You've got the local riders, Jason Lynn and Robert Kennedy, right up there, actually ahead of Davy Allingham, who's you know, a front runner in BSB, put it on the podium a number of times this year already, but funny enough doesn't know the circuit here. Even though he's a local rider, he never really raced here, so it's his first time visiting. We really expect to see Davy and Andrew going at it with the other local riders, you know, up behind. Possibly also Carl Phillips, who's been competing in 600 Superstock. So there's a really, really good field, and it's going to be tight, as you say, but a second covering the top 7.
Andrew Irwin sounded really confident when we were talking to him yesterday. He was openly talking about the lap record held by his brother Glenn. The lap record does look to be in danger, doesn't it?
It is. It's definitely going to be in danger today because the weather's, you know, absolutely ideal conditions today, which we haven't had for 2 years here. So lap times will tumble because it's been 2 years since we've had a really dry lap time.
Right, let's get to it. Super Sport is next on the track. Let's check the contenders.
go that wee step above because the British guys are here. It's nice to have them guys over, and we'll see what happens. It's hard to run with them, and there's going to be 6, 8, 10 of us at the front that can win, and it'll be an exciting race, and hopefully get away with them at the start.
There's a lot of very fast guys out there, guys from the British Superbike Championship. I've never raced with many of them, so very much looking forward to the challenge.
Qualifying went really, really well. It was nice to end up in the front row for first race tomorrow. There'll be a lot of stiff competition, but I'm looking forward to it and it should be good fun.
The lap record's what everyone's talking about. I'd like to do it pretty early and get it out of the way. I want to get beneath that 7.4.
For the race, we're hoping to be at the front. We wouldn't swing our leg over the bike if we weren't going out to one. It's going to be a close race, but hopefully if we can get to the front, we'll not make it too close.
Everyone wants to end the season in a high, and I definitely want mine in a real high.
Well, all the talking has to stop. We have to go racing now. He's talking about the lap record in Andy Irwin. It's held by his brother for the Supersports at a 107.474 around the Bishopscourt racing circuit, 1.824 miles. And it is Andy Irwin on that pole position with 95 David Allingham, 32 Carl Phillips, number 15 Ross Twyman. They across the front row there. Who's going to get a good start? Here we go with Jason Lynn. He went pretty well the other week down Mondello, but look at that. 2 Gearlink Kawasaki's and 1 EHA Racing Yamaha get to the front. It's Irwin, Allingham, Phillips and Twyman. Andy Irwin, he had a pretty good year in the British Championships, didn't he? Finishing 10th in the Gearlink Kawasaki. A couple of podiums in there too, but a great performance by David Allingham as well, number 95. An Irish boy who lives, of course, in England now. Well, he's going pretty good there, and he was 4th in the championship this year, but it's a good race at the front. The top 4 are heading away. Other notable names in the race, got to keep an eye for number 65, Nicky Coates. Always goes well down on the Irish circuits, as does number 41, Robert Kennedy on the Kennedy Racing Yamaha. Davey Hare's in there too, got to keep an eye on him, and also number 8, Christian Elkin on the Triumph. Of course, Christian, a former Northwest 200 winner. But at the front, it's Irwin, Allingham, Phillips and Twyman seem to be just pulling away. And, well, all the others just kind of being left in the distance. And it looks to me like we have a little bit of a leader here. And it is number 18, Andy Irwin. He was talking about breaking that lap record. And in practice, he did a 1:07.983. Still has half a second to find, and he's pulling away. Carl Phillips looks like he's making a move. He is number 32 up the inside of David Allingham. So the Gearlink Kawasaki's are now 1 and 2 around the Bishopscourt circuit. And really, the front 4 now just starting to eke away a little bit. And Andy Irwin, these boys are going to have to be careful because he is getting away. Maybe he's got one eye on his brother's lap record. Hey, let's see if he can get that today. And absolutely perfect conditions here in Northern Ireland for this race. And look at that now. What do we say? That's about 3/4 of a second. It must be that. But Carl Phillips on the brakes, pretty impressive. Jeremy McWilliams, I know, was pretty impressed with them before the start of this race here now. But Carl Phillips, I think he wants to show his teammate the way back there. And David Allingham in a pretty safe 3rd. And Ross Twyman on the number 15 bike, the sister bike to Allingham, just dropping off a little bit again. Allingham on the brakes there. Hopefully they're getting pit boards, or Andy Irwin's getting a pit board to know that he is going to be closed down any moment now by Phillips and Allingham. Speaking of Irwins, we know we've got success around here before with his brother Glenn and, of course, his father Alan before him. A couple times winner here in the 80s. I think it was about 83 and about 86 when his dad won the 2 races here at the Sunflower meeting. But the top 3 just heading away and just dropping off the back of them. Or is he? I think he's actually closing back up on this lap. He's had a good lap, has Ross Twyman on this lap. Remember, Supersports around here about 107s, 108s. That's what they're going to be looking for. Oh, and I tell you, Andy Irwin there, he wants to be looking away from those white lines. It's a good job it's not damp like it was a couple of years ago here. Andy Irwin really, really wide as he came onto the main start and finished straight. And it's not a one-way battle at the front now. There's now 3 of them there. Andy Irwin has got 2 other bikes for company. And, well, 15, Ross Twyman just keeping a little bit of a watching brief here. But all eyes on the front with Irwin and Phillips. Oh, look at Allingham there. David Allingham on that number 95 Yamaha, just having a little look around the outside of Carl Phillips there. Ross Twyman just keeping a little bit of a watching brief in 4th place, but the front 3 are well away. We're expecting Nicky Coates and maybe Robert Kennedy and Jason Lynn and Luke Johnson and maybe even Davey Hare just through the shot there to have a little run at the front of this race. But no, doesn't seem to be doing it. These boys just seem to be a little bit of a class apart. Look at Andy Irwin there, really getting nearly enough to getting the elbow down as he went through the final corner there called Dunsford here at the Bishopscourt Racing Circuit. Oh, what a great move. That is fantastic. That is a bit of class for number 95 there, David Allingham. He stuffed it right up the inside of Carl Phillips there, and now he's chasing down Andy Irwin because he knows not long to go in this race. We're out in the back of the circuit there now, and 15, Ross Twyman. He seems to have caught back up on these boys, so maybe with this bit of ding-donging that's going on, they're holding each other up, and maybe even the other group we can just see in the top of the shot there might be starting to catch them up as well. But the laps are starting to count down. We still still have a race leader over Andy Irwin on that number 18 green Kawasaki, but he's got the R6 Yamaha closing right down. Of course, Yamaha bringing out a brand new model for next year, so it'll be interesting to see if the boys stay with that one or take next year's model. It'll be very, very interesting. But the front three flash across the line once more. Andy Irwin not as wide as what he was on a couple of laps there to go. We're on board with him here now with Andy Irwin as we get into the very... Oh, what a move! That is incredible. He's done it again. David Allingham, I think he really, really likes Brock's corner, and I think Andy Irwin likes the next corner called Island of Gore, because he's up the inside of him. That's his British Championship racing at his best there, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fantastic. And Allingham once again up the inside. Fantastic once more. He stuffed it up now. Look who's coming behind them now. Carl Phillips. These two are beating each other up, and Carl Phillips has think to himself, I'm going to have a little go here. So he is looking at his teammate Andy Irwin, and it's also given number 15 Ross Twyman a little bit of a chance to have a look inside. Would you like to get on the back of my bike? I think David Allingham's saying to Andy Irwin, because he's wanting to have a go at it. How close is that? He pulls to the inside. Phillips. Oh, Irwin. Yes, he's done it. Oh, and he's going to go. Oh, goodness me. All over the curbs. Brilliant, brilliant riding, but safe, fast riding here at Bishopscourt. And look at the back now. It's going to be a four-way battle. Irwin in the lead, Allingham second, Carl Phillips in third, Ross Twyman in fourth. What a show they are putting on around this 1.824 mile circuit. Oh, David Allingham, that looked like he was in the gutter, completely in the gutter as he went across the start and finish line. It's the last lap. Hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Allingham's corner. I'm going to rename it this, actually, because he does that every time, but Irwin's not letting that stick at all. Allingham's going to cut over to the right-hand side. No, he's not. Oh, Phillips! Phillips! Carl Phillips nearly into the back of David Allingham there, and that has also put Ross Twyman off as well. But there's Allingham once more, going up the inside of Irwin. What a battle this is. This is brilliant. This is like a 1-2-5 race with 600 bikes. Allingham a long look over his left shoulder there now, but he knows that Irwin is there. He knows that he is there. So, where's Irwin going to make his move? We know where Allingham's going to make his. Oh, Irwin! Did he touch then? That was so close as they're on the back of the circuit. If you just look up and see Allingham's leather there, you can see Da Bomb. That's his nickname. And there's Irwin up the inside once more. Just back to... Oh, he's gone straight on. Irwin's gone straight on. Now, what will this do for the result? Is Allingham getting up the inside? No. Irwin. Now, this is very interesting because Irwin there ran over the chicane. He didn't gain any track position, and the positions are roughly about the same. So we'll have to be interesting to see how this goes on. It's just about the end of the race there now. Is Allingham going to get past him? No, he's not. Irwin takes the win by 0.189 of a second from David Allingham in second. Carl Phillips in third. He was half a second back off your race winner. And then Ross Twyman in that fourth place. But will the result stand? I'm pretty sure it will. But what a race. Andy Irwin, David Allingham, Carl Phillips. Great race at the front of the Supersport Race 1.
What happened at the far side of the circuit in the last lap?
Yeah, I actually got swerved on the straight line. Steve was protecting his line. He obviously didn't know I was there, so then I was ahead of him. Just on the brakes, we lost it a little bit, but sure, it's racing, and that's the way it goes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic action in the Supersport. There was no protest from EHA Racing, so the result stood. The top four were 5 seconds clear of everyone else. See you again for the Superbikes after the break. Welcome back to our coverage of the Sunflower Trophy at Bishopscourt near Downpatrick in Northern Ireland. We've just seen a super fast, super exciting, super sport race. Speaking of fast, Jeremy, you've brought us to the fastest section of the circuit here at Bishopscourt. What sort of speeds are they hitting turn one at?
Well, it is the fastest short circuit in Ireland, and the approach on this year, particularly on something like the PBM Ducati, must be 170 plus. So the tip-in point is probably 130, 140, and by the time they reach the apex, they're still well in excess of 100, probably 115, 120 miles per hour when they get close to the apex.
What's the secret then of making sure you get the most out of that speed and getting that maximum speed on the approach?
Can I say it? But it's let's just say it's being brave. On the approach, there's a little bit of a jump when you're reaching those kind of speeds. You have to nip into exit pit lane really to make the track as wide as possible, and then don't turn in early. If you turn in early, unfortunately, you run straight through. and don't get any drive between turn 1 and turn 2. So it's really imperative that you hit quite a late apex on this corner. And as you can see, it's very difficult to do all that because there's not much in the way of reference markers here. The big thing will be in the big race, I think, again, back down to the 3 top runners.
Of those 3, Glenn, Christian and Danny, is Danny the favourite again, given that he's off in the back of 2 wins?
Well, you know, you do. Obviously, you come here with a history. You know, you're out to prove something. But on the other side, you know, Glenn's looking for a contract for next year with PBM. The team have been good enough to come and support him. Obviously, with full factory machinery, you know, Glenn will be out there on home territory to make his mark. The big surprise might be Eden. Look what he did at Brands Hatch. He was incredible at Brands Hatch, consistently fast. So it could be anybody's.
Well, that Superbike race is next. Let's hear from the main contenders.
I'm certainly expecting a dogfight. I think myself and Erwin and Buchan, we're probably the 3 ones that are going to be really battling it out. But there's no doubt that there's probably going to be a few others that jump in the mix. But, you know, I'm keen as well, so we'll be doing what we can.
Christian's in the form of his life. You know, if you put the 3 of us on paper, he's the most experienced. He's probably, at the minute, the faster man. I do believe I can beat him. Being on track this morning, you know, I felt quite relaxed. So hopefully I'm the biggest challenger to them, but it certainly won't be easy.
I think the lap record's going to go. I think the next one you'll see 105s. For me, it's just going to be a case of getting out there in the race and seeing if we can upset their rhythm a bit and just doing the best we can. I think I can be there at the front.
We're here to have fun. There's a lot of the British guys are over, Glenn Irwin and Christian Eden, Danny Buchan. We're hoping to be the next best guy.
With having them other 2 British Superbike riders, 2 or 3 wins here this weekend, we send us into the winter break quite content.
So here we go with the first Superbike outing of the day, and we did have the 100-mile-an-hour lap in practice. What a performance that was by Glenn Irwin. Now, later on in the Sunflower race, he'll be hoping to get his name on the trophy like his dad Alan did in the early 80s. But we're away. Glenn Irwin on that pole position. Christian Iden's also there, number 24. Look out for Danny Buchan, of course, a winner here, number 83. And Nico Mawini, number 11, completed the front row. But it's Christian Iden who takes an early lead and a couple of damp patches there as he go to the very first corner here on this Bishopscourt circuit. That corner is called Brox. Big field in the Superbikes. Well, what are we looking at? 99 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour laps. Are we going to see the first racing 100 mile an hour lap? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Got some good Superbike races to bring you here. First at the moment is number 24, the Tyco BMW, the BMW Motorrad racing machine of Christian Iden. Iden, of course, 9th in the British Superbike Championship this year. And of course, Irwin, being the rookie, he finished in 12th place. And well, a pretty good year on that Be Wiser Ducati. Well, and those 3, I think, are just clearing off a little bit of dampness, just see on the circuit there on the back of it. And the BMW, well, we know how quick it is, we know how good it is in the hands of his teammate Shane Shaky Byrne. Oh, he picks it up so fast. Has a look at the inside but doesn't make it. Iden still leads on the BMW, so it's BMW, Ducati and Kawasaki, your top 3. Listen to that BMW screen, but here comes the Ducati. Out of the slipstream he goes into the first corner, and a new race leader, and it is Glenn Irwin, number 2 on that Ducati. So the first, second and third not separated by much at the moment. Iden has a look back up the inside, does it straight away, runs a little bit wide, and there's Irwin, pulls across. Oh my goodness me, how close was that? Let's have a little look again. We're on board with Danny Buchan. This is, oh, Irwin cuts across and Iden nearly clatters into him. It was so tight there, as you can see once more there. Well, rubbing is racing, somebody said once, and that was nearly rubbing them both down on the floor, but they both picked it up well. And what a race this is setting up to be with these 2 young men doing their business here at Bishopscourt. But it's Glenn Irwin, number 2, who leads us at the moment, with Christian Iden on the BMW, right in his wheel tracks. Over the line once more. Just listen to that Ducati sing. Who's in 4th place at the moment? It looks to me like number 31. Is it James East? It is James in that 4th place. Also in that group, number 18, Andy Irwin. Andy, of course, on the 600. And number 67 there. Oh, dear me, Robert English getting it all squirrely into there. Has he picked it up? Oh, he has. And the Mandello Masters Superbike champion manages to get it round the corner there. A bit of a moment for number 67, Robert English. But back at the front, Glenn Irwin just pulling away just a little bit in absolutely perfect conditions here at Bishopscourt. We got Irwin, we've got Iden, we've got Buchan, your front 3. And the others, well, where are they? Look at the back of the shot. You can't even see them. So these 3, a little bit of class at the front of the field here, there. Irwin again, into the left, into the right he goes. Nice and steady into the long right-hander now. Picks the Ducati up quickly, gets on the power, but Iden has closed right in on him again. I thought Irwin was clearing off, but Iden has closed right in on him. So the BMW right in the tracks. We know how quick the BMW is. Is it going to stay away with that Ducati. Let's see down the long start and finish straight. It's not. You see Irwin cutting right across there. You heard Jeremy say a little bit earlier on how important it was to use the pit lane exit for this corner. The very, very fast first corner here on the Bishopscourt National Racing Circuit. Brox it is called. Well, and that is a quick entry there, and a really good entry there for number 67. Just seen Robert English, and also Nicky Coates is making a good showing there. Nicky in currently around about 5th or 6th place on track. But the leaders, they're away and gone. It is Glenn Irwin who still leads on that number 2. The Be Wiser Ducati, the red bike, leads the blue and white bike, and just behind them the Kawasaki green of Danny Buchan, number 83. Listen to that Ducati pick up on the power as he go past the camera by the start and finish line. There he goes, blast, as quick as that. 160, 170 maybe mile an hour, just swinging right over to the far side. The all team to take this little line into that corner that Jeremy quite rightly pointed out, you know, and we make reference to, but it's so important to get that corner right, so then you get this corner right just to keep the speed going. And Glenn early doors on the power there now. Just a little bit of movement there from the rear from Glenn, but yeah, he's picked it up fine. And there's Danny Buchan in that third place. Well, a masterclass from Glenn Irwin. He's lapping at about 99.2 at the moment. Is he going to push for that ton? Remember, he did it in practice, and the lap record for these superbikes around here is by Danny Buchan. 106.035 from last year, 99.438, and I'm pretty sure that will be smashed by the end of this race by these boys here on the Ducati and the BMW, firing it onto the start and finish straight for the last time. It's the last lap we go here now. Buchan pretty safe in that third place, and there it is. There is the lap record. Well done to Glenn Irwin. 1 minute 5.785, 99.816 mile an hour. You just seen Robert English there, number 67. He has recovered himself, and you just seen number 15 Ross Twyman there on the silver, the R6, the 600 machine, in with the big bikes here at Bishopscourt. Just getting out of the seat just a little bit. 65 Nicky Coates went pretty well at Mondello the other week, and always goes well here, and in round about 4th or 5th place as we step at the leaders well out onto the final track. Looks like Irwin's got this pretty much sealed up. Idden pretty close, but not close enough. Right about 3/4 of a second just behind there, just looking at the timing, just counting it in my head. And Buchan, well, I think he's letting them, these two boys, just get into it, into the right, into the left, into the final part of the corner, and this will be a maiden Superbike win if he stays on it here for Glenn Irwin on that Superbike, and well done to him, also getting that lap record, 99.816, just a couple of back markers, they're not going to bother him. There goes the checkered cloth. A great win for Glenn Irwin on the BYZ Ducati. Looks pretty pleased about that. Christian Idden in second, number 24, and number 83 Danny Buchan in that third place, and the winning margin 0.828 of a second, but a great win on the Superbike for Glenn Irwin.
That race wasn't easy. You know, Christian got into the lead. Ducati's pretty hard to get off the line, and it's not too easy to pass around here when you're racing against the level of competition like what him and Danny bring. And I was quite glad to see the flag, but I think I didn't look behind. I think we were starting to eke out a little gap.
Here's the confirmation of Glenn Irwin's first ever Superbike win at the Sunflower. 0.82 seconds the gap to Christian Idden, with Danny Buchan 5 seconds adrift. Buchan's lap record has been smashed. On lap 6, Irwin set 1 minute 5.78 seconds. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back to our coverage of the Sunflower Trophy from Bishopscourt Racing Circuit. Local boy Glenn Irwin has just won the first Superbikes race, holding off the challenge of Christian Idden and Danny Buchan. We sent Jeremy McWilliams to meet Glenn and get a look around his Be Wiser Ducati team truck.
Hi Glenn.
How you doing, Jeremy?
Thanks for having us into the big red PBM truck. Can you show us about it?
Yeah, we're pretty much in here where I chill out on a race weekend, and leathers are hanging up well and truly on display, and everything sits tidy, or else we'll get a bit of a talking to. We also have hospitality in here this weekend. We've went all out and we're shopped out in the sandwiches.
So it's very healthy grub then, Glenn, right?
Aye, some of it is, that lettuce is mine, but Blondie has a special delivery of buns in there, so can't blame him. One will show you the rest of the wagon.
What's this then? It's not yours?
No, this bike's a little bit special. This is a 2016 British Superbike Championship winning bike by Shaky Byrne.
This is it, the bike the way it left Brands Hatch?
This bike with the exact same tyre, everything, as it left Brands Hatch.
how you've come good at the end of the year, you know, when you really have started to perform. Obviously, what Paul has rewarded you here with bringing the whole team over. Can you tell us what's on the cards for next year?
You know, well, I think if we get this sunflower, you know, it might secure the deal. I think we're looking pretty good. Whatever decision Paul makes, I fully respect him. He's given me a great opportunity, and we'll come back next year with maybe a bit more of an attitude like we have this weekend. I'm always very relaxed at home, and if we can bring that over to, you know, BSB, we could maybe build on what was already a strong year.
We've seen the first race, Glenn. It was an emphatic win. What do you expect to do in the Sunflower?
Hey, well, you know, the bike's quite difficult off the line, so I need to get as best a start as I can, and I believe I've got a pace that maybe we can better the lap record we've already set, so hopefully get Christian and Danny behind me as quick as possible. But, you know, Christian's also in factory machinery. He's a British Superbike, you know, top runner, so it won't be as easy as that, but that's my plan.
Glenn, thanks for a tour of the truck, and very best of luck for the main race.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. We'll be giving it a whirl. Cheers. Thank you.
Great to see Glenn Irwin enjoying his first year at BSB level so much. The Sunflower Trophy race is clearly his focus, and we'll see that shortly. But we have a Super Twins and the second Super Sport race next. In the Twins, Robert Kennedy set the pace in qualifying with Scottish rider Paul McClung and Macclesfield's Christian Elkin close behind.
36 bikes take to the grid here for this Super Twin and Stock Twin race. As Graham said, Robert Kennedy, number 41, on pole position on the Suzuki 650. A pretty good start you can see there for 149. Paul McClung, the Scottish rider, but a pretty good start there for 169. That's Caelan Irwin there. Now, Caelan on a slightly different bike. He's on a Aprilia 550 riding for the Scott Racing Motorcycles team. Christian Elkin's in there too. We know how well he can go on a Super Twin, and wow, what a big field this is. As I said, 36 riders and all sorts of different lines as they go through there on the first lap of this race at the Bishopscourt National Circuit. Just about 1.8 miles around here for these 650 twins, and somebody just getting sat up a little bit, but somebody has just pulled away and completely disappeared there. And now we know who that somebody is. It's Paul McClung, number 149, the Scottish rider. His first time here to Bishopscourt, and he's putting on a heck of a show, and he's pulling away. He really is. Davey Hare's in there. I could just see a little bit earlier on the number 1 bike. That's a KMR Kawasaki, but the boys on the Aprilia 550s, well, they're putting it to the boys on the 650s going really good. Just looking for Christian Elkin. Where is he? 1, 2, 3. Christian Elkin, just see there around about 6th place at the moment. Mark Hanna's number 33, and your pole setter number 41, Robert Kennedy, also still in there. But at the front, he is absolutely clearing off. Let's time that. He's about a second ahead already, and in second place is number 41 as you cross the line there. 41 Suzuki mounted Robert Kennedy, and the Kawasaki mounted Mark Hanna in third, up to 4th place now, making that move. I did think he would. A great move there by the number 25 Christian Elkin, just getting ahead of number 11 James Folkard. Don't forget Christian Elkin, a Northwest 200 winner, and of course many times winner around the British circuits, and of course 125 champion. But our race leader, Scotsman Paul McClung, on his Kawasaki is absolutely clearing off from the rest of the field and leaving these boys for dead. And I really thought with his first time being here, somebody like Christian Elkin or maybe Robert Kennedy, number 41, would give him a good push. He's got a pretty good line around the back of the circuit, but Kennedy hasn't. Just a little bit deep in there for Robert Kennedy. Your pole setter Mark Hanna given a little bit of an opportunity to close up, as is number 25 there Christian Elkin, and number 11 still in there having a good showing on the Aprilia 550 James Folkard. Across the line to go for another lap. That is a huge lead. You don't expect to see that in Super Trim racing. Just in the top there, can also see number 70 Kia McGreevy. Now Kia is on a Kajiva machine, which is a little bit different to see in the Super Twin and the Stock Twin class. But your race leader, Scotsman McClung, he is cleared off. Let's have a little look at Elkin here. What's he going to do? Is he having a little look? Oh, that's so tight. A little bit of class from Christian there. Is he going to make this one stick? He is. Christian, well, he's only a little fella. He's only about 5'4", probably weighs about 10 stone. If I've done you a disservice there, Christian, apologies for that. But, well, getting right up the inside of Mark Hanna. And isn't it good to see Mark Hanna back on the motorbikes? Just getting about a lap or so to go here, and Scotsman Paul McClung, well, if he's not seen the place before he arrived here the other day, he's doing a pretty good job of leading this Super Twins race. He really is. And that, I would say, is about a 5-second lead, maybe even more, as he heads out on the last lap. We've got Christian Elkin, number 25. He's in second place, and it looks to me like number 41, Robert Kennedy, in third, with Mark Hanna in fourth. A little bit of traffic now. Where's the leader? There he is, just coming up alongside some of the slower guys. Number 51, Dougie Shearer, I can see there, and 96, all also in there too. Alan Johnson, he's got a little bit of traffic to negotiate. I think he's done that with quite good ease, actually. You've just got to take your time and pick your time to get past these guys. I'm pretty sure he knows exactly where he is. Number 89, Jamie Ray, I can see there too on the Suzuki. But there is your race win, and a pretty convincing race win for Paul McClung by about 7.16 seconds.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be about 5 of us at the front just battling for it, but we were lucky enough to get a wee break on it there and run my own race, just banging the laps and just watch my lap timer, and yeah, had awesome fun out there, so mega.
Well, Paul McClung is obviously a very quick learner. His first trip to Bishopscourt and an emphatic first win. 7.1 seconds was his winning margin over Christian Elkin, with Robert Kennedy in third. The second Supersport race is next. It's back to Chris.
What a fantastic Supersport race one we had with Andy Irwin still on pole position. He won the first one with David Allingham, pushed him hard, as did number 32, Carl Phillips. Here we go. 7 laps around this Bishopscourt National Circuit, 1.8 miles. What a race that was. The race one was absolutely incredible. Look out for other people in this. So 41, Robert Kennedy, Luke Johnson. You can just see there, number 42 on the bright yellow bike. He should show quite well in this too. It's a big, big field. Riders getting bumped and bored absolutely everywhere, but it's that man again. Oh, somebody pushed. Oh, I tell you, that was. That's 15. That's Ross Twyman. He was 4th in race 1. So Ross with a lot of work to do. David Allingham around the outside. Of Andy Irwin, but he doesn't make it stick. He even had a little look. He knew he was coming. He really knew that he was there. But a great move by Allingham. But Irwin had that covered. So Irwin pulling away once more. Allingham, he's there too. And also number 32, Carl Phillips. And number 41, a good start there. We mentioned him at the top there. Robert Kennedy and number 42, Luke Johnson, also in there too. Just see number 22, Paul Jordan. He didn't manage to start the first race here, but he is out in the second race. But the front 4, a slightly different front 4 than the first race, with a couple of other guys just maybe in the mix there too. Just see number 65, Nicky Coates. Nicky, of course, always goes well on the short circuits here, especially down in Mandela Park and at Bishopscourt. But look at that wide line the riders take. Number 41 there, Robert Kennedy on his R6 Kennedy Racing Yamaha. He's in that 4th place with a lovely line into that corner. But Allingham, he's having a little look at Irwin once again, and Phillips also too. But Allingham's, I think he's thinking about making a move. No, he's not. I thought he might have been a little bit closer there, but tell you, these 4 here have not got that much of a distance on the next group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which includes Christian Elkin. I could just see there too. Kennedy though, put on a good show. Kennedy finished 6th in the first race, currently running 4th, but Irwin at the front, and Allingham putting on another great event here at Bishopscourt. So 1, 2, 3, 4 bikes as quick as that go past us here onto the final corner, onto that long start and finish straight. Everybody steering clear of that white line. Number 42 there, that's Luke Johnson, just clipping it just on the exit. Here's Allingham. Is he making a move here? He's he's a heck of a long way back, but by gum, he didn't half make that stick. He really did. But Irwin back up the inside. Allingham has another little look. Do these two race regularly on British Championships? Yes, they do. I think they know each other quite well. Carl Phillips, is he having a look underneath Allingham? He is. That is a fantastic move by the Gearlink Kawasaki of number 32, Carl Phillips. He moves himself up into that 2nd place, and he's put in some pretty good lap times too, as Carl, around about the 108s, 107.9s. That's pretty consistent around here. So 18, 32, then we have 95 and number 41, Kennedy, 2 Kawasaki's and 2 Yamahas at the front. And Kennedy with a really tight line into that final corner. Irwin again on his preferred, just kicking up the dust into the start and finish straight. They're now on the last lap, and it's Irwin, but look at this, round the outside, Phillips has a little look. Allingham, remember him from the first race, into there was pretty good, but he's not gone there this time. Is he going to have a little look around the outside of Phillips? He can't make that, can he? No, not a chance in heaven. Irwin, a little look there, just lifted the left arm off the bars. But Allingham, oh, no, he can't do 2 and 1, surely not. He's up in the second, he's done one of them. Just a little tap on the back brake there, just pulled him in back behind Irwin. That's a great move from David Allingham, showing a little bit of class here on that Yamaha, which of course he took to 4th place in the British Supersport Championship this year. So it's Irwin and Allingham once again with Phillips. The first 3 from the first race are exactly as they are, but a good show in there by Robert Kennedy, holding that 4th. Irwin into the final corner, he goes hard on the power, pulls it wide. Allingham asking for a little bit of power, getting it just to spin up a little bit, but it is a double. It is a win for Andrew Irwin, number 18, and isn't he half happy about that? David Allingham in 2nd place, 0.089 back off Irwin. Carl Phillips in 3rd, Robert Kennedy in 4th, and after that first lap incident, Ross Twyman, number 15, he came home in 5th place.
So a double for Andrew Irwin. Can brother Glenn match that? The Sunflower Trophy feature race is next. Join us again after the break.
Here comes the Ducati, out of the slipstream he goes, into the first corner, and a new race leader, and it is Glenn Irwin, number 2. There goes the checkered clock, a great win for Glenn Irwin on the BYD Ducati. I'm pretty pleased about that.
Well, Irish eyes were smiling after the first Superbike race and the first Supersport race. It's about time that the Englishmen amongst us did something to try and rebalance that. What are the chances, Danny? This is the big one, the Sunflower Trophy. You're the defending champion.
Well, I had my arse kicked in the first one, which weren't very good for me. But yeah, I'm just down on power a little bit. It's quite frustrating really to see these guys just ride away from me in the straights. There's just sort of damage limitations for me, but it's great to be out here. It's great to be in front of the Irish fans, and yeah, I always enjoy it. So.
You had a good battle earlier in the Superbike race, Christian, with Glenn. Can you push them a little bit further to this time, do you think?
Yeah, I hope so. I had a bit of a weird feeling with the bike on the first sort of start that we did, because it was restarted. I didn't even see an apex the whole lap, and we changed the front end of the bike. Just we think there was something not quite right with it, so no real setting changes, just something that we needed to replace. So hopefully it'll feel a bit more normal in this one. Yeah, there's a few places where Glenn was a lot quicker than me, but then a few places where I had the legs on him. So that was a bit of cat and mouse in that race, and yeah, in the end he just had the beating of me. So this is the main one now. So we'll see how we go.
We're very used to Irish riders going over to compete in the British Superbikes. You're obviously doing it the other way around. Have you enjoyed the experience, the two of you?
I love it. Yeah, I love it coming here every year. It's brilliant. And I said it to you earlier, didn't I? Yeah. I said to Christian, "Are you going to come back next year?" He went, "Yeah." Yeah, he loves racing. That's what it's about here. It's good.
Yeah, it's real nice. You know, obviously, doing the BSB and everything, there's a lot of pressure, and that is nice to come and do a one-off race. Essentially, that's what you're here to do, is to enjoy your racing. So, you know, that's part of it. So it's nice to come to a race and be able to relax a little bit.
Don't relax too much. You still got one big race left.
I think we should ask Christian that question you asked him earlier. About the cat being out of the bag. Hey.
About the secret testing that you're denying.
Testing here, Christian.
Rumour is it I've been living here for the last 3 months testing it, so...
Back and forth from Brands Hatch to here.
Last time I came here was 10 years ago on a Supermoto, and by the time you get to the end of pit lane, I turn right. So, yeah, I don't know too much of it.
That's your story and you're sticking to it.
I will stick to that.
Yeah.
Thanks, lads. All the best.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sunflower Trophy race. Glenn Irwin's already won 2 so far this weekend. Is he going to win another one? Win this big one and get his name on the trophy alongside people like Joey Dunlop. Noel Hudson's won it. Alan Irwin's won it. No idea who he is. Oh, that's his dad. Steve Cull, race 1. James Whittam, Joey Dunlop, as we mentioned, Matt Llewellyn, Steve Hislop. Well, it's a who's who of bike racing on the roads and off the roads. Danny Buchan, he broke the lap record in the second Superbike race, 99.971. Are we going to see the magic ton in this one? And a great start, looks to me like Christian Hidden. An absolute belting start on the Tyco BMW. But out the outside, has he got it? Yes, he has. Oh, what a move that was. Really, really wide. Just pushed Christian a bit wide. Oh, Christian just out of the seat there. So tyres just not up to temperature. It is quite late in the day now, so maybe just not as much heat in that Tyco BMW rear tyre as he was hoping for when he asked it for a bit of gas, and it just wasn't having it. But it's the front 3 once more of Irwin, Hidden and Buchan who are breaking away in the start of this 6-lap race. Here, Danny Buchan on the Kawasaki in the first race. Don't forget, he was quite a way back from these boys, so we will not be wanting these boys to get away. But Glenn Irwin and Hidden already seem to be doing that. Hidden's already had that little slide that he had a couple of moments ago. And I tell you what, he looks mean and he looks moody and very, very racy. So your leaders go through the shot. Glenn Irwin, oh, in the background there, you can just see 2 riders have gone down. It's number 57, it's Cody Nally, number 31, James East, as Christian Hidden has a look up the inside. And yet, another slide there from Christian Hidden. I can tell you that East and Cody Nally were perfectly fine and picked themselves up, just a couple of broken bits on the bike, but that is fixable. So we have Glenn Irwin still leading this, but it is concerning me the fact that Christian Hidden has had 2, maybe 3 pretty big slides on that opening couple of laps, so he's going to have to keep a little eye on this, but he isn't off, closing down. He's really, really good on the brakes, and 3/4 of the way around the corner, he just seems to be closing right in on Glenn Irwin. But when Glenn gets to the start and finish straight with Danny Buchan, you can just see there safely still in third. He's closing him right up. Here's Hidden. He's having a good run this time. Pulls it to the left-hand side. Is he going to get it? Pulls to the right-hand side. Is he going to have a look? Oh, he does. Just gets in right behind Glenn once more. And maybe that could be a spot where we could see Christian Idden take the lead, or could it be there? No, it's not. I really thought Christian was going to have a good look through there. Danny Buchan, as we said, safely in that third place, and the others, well, they've dropped right back again, but these two putting on a great show around this Bishopscourt racing circuit, and of course it's only 1.824 miles, so quite a short circuit in terms, and I can recommend a visit next year for the Sunflower Trophy races. But your race leader, Glenn Irwin, he's still got Christian Idden for company. Danny Buchan safe in third at the moment, who's also in fourth. Nicky Coates, number 65. Andy Irwin's going well on that 600, number 18. And Robert English, the Mandela Masters champion, also going well on his IFS Yamaha. But it's all about the Ducati and the BMW at the front. I don't think Danny Buchan is going to get a look in here. No, he's not looking at that. He's just dropping right back. And remember back to the first Superbike race, these two were nearly trading paint at one point. And I tell you, look at Christian here now. He's getting the run. We know he's good on this bit. Hard on the power on the BMW. The front wheel just comes into the air to the left, to the right. Now he's getting on the power once more. Glenn just tucks into the bubble just a little bit. The back wheel just bouncing in the air just a bit there. There's Christian hard on the gas. Runs a little bit wider. There's just Christian just to give him a little bit of an extra drive. And the man who was looking for a bit more drive there was Glenn Irwin with the BYD Ducati getting all out of shape there, but he tidied it up nicely. Now these two could have Danny Buchan for company in a couple of moments, because Danny is not letting this go, and he has closed it down a little bit. The gap, I think, has actually come down. So Danny Buchan on that MSS Kawasaki is tracking down that Tyco BMW of Christian Idden. Front three, well, they're cleared off. They have gone. Here we go, out on under the lap. Glenn Irwin, nice and steady through there for Glenn. Just hugs the curb, flicks it over to the left-hand side, then a little flick to the right. Here he goes, and he's now got Christian right in his wheel tracks now as Glenn. So maybe Christian might have gone for a slightly different tyre compound. That's the only thing I can think of that has made him in that early start of the race, just to get those little tyres spinning up. Maybe he had a different tyre compound, but he's on the gas, and you see him there swinging right over to the right-hand side of the road. Glenn takes a late dive into there, chucks it into the left hand, and then quickly flicks it over to the right just to cover any move that Christian Idden could make. And of course, do we know if he's got a different tyre compound on as Christian Idden here as he chases down that Ducati of Glenn Irwin. I think Glenn's run that a bit deep. He has a little look to his right-hand side, and there's Christian Idden, who asked for a little bit too much there from the Tyco BMW. Got it spinning up on the back there, and well, he is closing right in now on Glenn Irwin. So that little mistake by Glenn Irwin has given Christian Idden the opportunity to make a pass to the right, through the left to go. Hard now on the gas. That BMW is so quick. Is he going to do it this time? No, he's not. Thinks again. He's had a couple of looks at that corner, hasn't he? He really has. Oh, he's had a look this time. Has he made it stick? What a move that is. That is fantastic. Christian Idden takes the lead of the Sunflower Trophy race here on his debut here at Bishopscourt. Well, on the racing track part of it anyway. He's been off-road and on the on-road bit before, but now we know how quick that Ducati is. Here it comes, Christian the BMW. There's Glenn, power on. Yep, swings right. He did exactly the same in the first race, just powered past him. That must be so frustrating for Christian Idden to have Glenn Irwin just do that to him, but he's not giving it up here now. Christian Idden in the wheel tracks, right in there, staying in that slipstream, looking for any little mistake. Remember, it was this corner on the last lap where Glenn made that mistake. No problems this time at all, none whatsoever. Glenn Irwin powers out of the corner there now. He's got Christian. Oh, Glenn's putting his hand up. What's that? Oh, we got a red flag. We got a red flag. The race has been stopped. Whoa, Glenn Irwin was leading the race. You can see the riders down there. I'm not sure exactly who those riders are, and let's hope that those riders are going to be okay. So Glenn Irwin still does not have his hands on the trophy that his father won in 83 and 86. And I tell you what, he must be a pretty relieved man, because Christian Idden was closing him down.
Well, after a brief debate, it was decided that they'd restart with one warm-up and then 6 laps. Not much time then for Christian Idden's Tyco team to make any adjustments. The Ducati boys got busy, however. They were tinkering while Glenn Irwin was clarifying the rules with the organising Hillsborough club. When they got underway once more, he again struggled a little bit to get his machine off the line and into position 1. Idden got the best start and led right through the first lap, but the Ducati had proved to be the fastest bike all weekend, and when they got to the straight, Irwin sailed past into the lead. As we rejoin Chris Kinley, there's a lap and a half to go.
Well, three riders at the front of this race. It's Glenn Irwin, it's Christian Idden, and it's Danny Buchan. Three of them hammering tongues, and a rider just in fourth place. I think that's Nicky Coates, number 65 it is, yeah, on that Kawasaki. So Nicky having a pretty good showing here now, but Glenn Irwin now, he can taste the victory, he really, really can. But remember back to the running, the first running of this, before he got red flagged due to that incident, Christian Idden was all over the back of Glenn Irwin. So he is going to have to keep a little eye on this, and it's the back part of the circuit where it seems to me that Christian Idden seems to have the make of Glenn Irwin. But it's this part of the circuit, when Glenn gets the Ducati fired up, that he seems to pull away. And well, Christian really getting on the power out on the last lap. Danny Buchan, he's not giving it up either. One little mistake from either of them could hand it to Danny Buchan. He could have his hands on that trophy once more. But Glenn Irwin here, is he going to do it? And are we going to see the 100-mile-an-hour lap round here at Bishopscourt in racing conditions? I know we've seen it in practice, but it's racing where it all counts. Just see number 18 there, Andy Irwin, winner, of course, of 600 races. Absolutely great performance by him on that 600, and behind him, number 67 there, Robert English. But let's get back to the front, and your race leader is still Glenn Irwin, it is, but Christian Idden has not given this one up. Danny Buchan, I think Danny's a little bit far behind. You just seen the rear wheel of Christian Idden's BMW just spinning up there now, and this is the part of the circuit where Christian Idden, he's noticeably quicker through that part of the section here. But to the right-hander, just picks that knee up off the curb there. Glenn gets the BMW sat up, hard on the gas he goes. The Tyco BMW, has it got enough? He's closing right in. Is Christian Idden, is he going to make it, or are we going to see a Sunflower Trophy win for Glenn Irwin? I think we are. Well done to Glenn Irwin. That's 3 Superbike races, and importantly, his hands on the Sunflower Trophy. Fastest lap of the race goes to second place, Christian Idden, 100.676. That's no consolation, though, I'm sure. Danny Buchan in third, but 30 years after his father Alan won the Sunflower Trophy race, Glenn Irwin gets his hands on the trophy.
Glenn, your dad would never have forgotten it if you hadn't won that as well.
Yeah, do you know what? He's the first person I've seen us across the line. He obviously swerved over towards my team and that, and really good feeling. Really good competition this year as well. Like the 3 British Superbike riders, and yeah, it's good to win it when the competition's so tough.
It certainly was tough. 0.386 seconds the gap between race winner Glenn Irwin and runner-up Christian Idden in the end. And of course it could have been oh so different without that unfortunate red flag. Well, Jeremy, obviously great for Glenn Irwin to emulate his father and win the Sunflower Trophy, but a bit of a shame for us that it was red flagged, because it was getting really interesting at that point.
It was, wasn't it? I mean, it's always the way with racing, isn't it? You know, Christian just looked like he had the measure on him, you know, and made the move at the right time. And it was going to be a ding-dong. Obviously, Glenn wasn't going to give it to him. Unfortunately, you know, the red flag incident, yes, it happens quite regularly, but, you know, one of those things. Unfortunately, Christian didn't get a tyre in when they went back out, and I believe Glenn probably put a brand new tyre in, so it just gave him that little bit of advantage on the restart.
It was a pretty good day for the Irwin family, wasn't it?
It's been an Irwin domination, hasn't it? Yeah, I mean, really good to see, obviously. It's not easy to do that, you know, one race after another with the level of competition that was here today, so you got to hand it to the Irwin brothers. Impressive.
Great crowds here as well. Great to see such support for the Sunflower Trophy, Jeremy. What about the circuit, though? Bishopscourt, obviously their big ambition is to get around to the BSB here. Can they do it from what you've seen today?
Well, you just got to listen to the riders. You know, the riders love it. You know, they say it's such a great circuit. The service is incredible. That's definitely one that I think, you know, the circuit need to push for. I think the riders, they'd all love it. Yeah, it's certainly better than a lot of the BSB tracks, I can tell you that.
Let's hope they manage to achieve that ambition of getting a BSB round here to Bishopscourt. For now, though, it's all about the Sunflower Trophy. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. Bye for now.